Want to go to Mexico? Yeah, baby.
It's pretty good.
Esto dice así, para mi amor del Pacífico, sabor. Cuando yo estaba el otro día viéndote pasar, frente a la playa tu mirada tuve que alcanzar. No me lograba yo explicar, esto no era normal. Cuando en tus ojos yo miré algo sobrenatural.
Baja California, Mexico, winter 2023. Part 1. Crossing the border to dispersed camping north of San Felipe. For those of you who may be unfamiliar with geography, Baja California is a large peninsula on the west side of Mexico. It is 760 miles long and averages less than 70 miles wide for most of its length. It has a mostly arid landscape and has over 2,000 miles of coastline. We wanted to do a morning border crossing at the Calexico East port of entry, so we decided to camp on the BLM land east of Calexico about 12 miles from the border. We spent way too long looking for the perfect camp spot. You know, some had too much garbage, some were too exposed, some were too close to other people. But after, I kid you not, 2 hours of looking, we finally settled on an okay site. We have been trying to get out of the every campsite must be epic mindset, but sometimes we have a relapse. In preparation for the trip, we procured our Mexican insurance for the truck and the trailer through Baja Bound, and we downloaded our offline maps for Google and Gaia apps. For a more detailed explanation of the requirements for the trip, please read my complete write-up about the trip on the Expedition Portal forum, link in the description below. We're gonna go to Baja, baby.
First time.
First time.
We'll see. Okay.
Let's see what happens.
Woo!
Even with all the prep, we still had a modicum of trepidation as this would be our first time crossing our southern border. We drove down to Calexico East on Route 7. As we got close to the border, we stayed in the right-hand lane for the trailers and RVs. Soon enough, we were across the border. And even though we knew the signage would all be in Espanol, it still required some mental computation to take it all in. Most of them were fairly easy to decipher. For some, we had to use our Google Translate app. We made our way to the inspection area where we were waved to a stop by an inspector. He spoke a little English and asked for our registration papers for the truck and the trailer. Then he asked if we had any drugs, pistolas, or cigarrillos. We replied no for each. He gave a cursory inspection of a few of our storage areas and then waved us off. He also told us to park in the parking lot behind the inspection area so we could walk into the I&M office to get our FMMs. There was no room for a truck and a trailer in that lot, so we parked next to a construction site across from the parking lot. We then walked into the I&M building for our FMMs.
Forma migratoria múltiple.
A nice lady behind the counter took our passports, then filled out our forms for us. We paid with a credit card. She stamped our forms and handed us back our FMMs and our passports. Done deal.
Bienvenido a México.
Back in the truck, we headed south, stopping at a Walmart for fruits, vegetables, and meats, an ATM to withdraw some pesos, and an OXXO store to buy Mexican SIM cards for our cell phones. Our coverage stopped shortly after crossing the border. Yes, dear?
We're in Mexico.
We're in Mexico. We're in Baja.
South of Mexicali. We managed to get our FMNs. Managed to get some groceries.
Managed to get gas.
Some pesos. First one Telcel card, SIM card.
Had to go to 3 OXXOs to find 2 Telcel cards.
To find another one. To find the second one.
Well, we stopped at 1.
Right.
We got mine. And we had to stop at 2 more to get
Right.
yours. That's 3.
Right. But now we're headed down to San Felipe area and hopefully find a spot near the beach. We'll see.
Our plan was to stop near San Felipe for a couple of nights to get our bearings. There are several RV parks in San Felipe. None of them look to provide much privacy. When camping in a teardrop surrounded by enclosed RVs and camper vans, it can feel like you're living in a fishbowl. We opted for a boondocking site that we found on iOverlander where we could have a little distance between us and other people. Google Maps did us dirty and almost led us into a ditch. After carefully reversing, we proceeded further down MX5. Here is my review of the site on iOverlander. The road ends within sight of the camping area at a deep ditch. With soft sand all around, it's difficult for big rigs with two-wheel drive to get turned around. We've stopped several rigs from driving into the ditch. One road to the south is the correct road.
Well, we're outside of San Felipe, and we're looking for a camping spot, a free camping spot, and in trying to put the camper where we wanted it, we got a little bit deep. He stopped before we got stuck, and he's airing down. And then we're gonna move over there. So not very far. We'll see.
Al vernos de la mano y al besar su boca, te vas a arrepentir y te lo digo en serio, por haber despreciado este humilde ranchero.
Check it out. The sand dollars are in. I got you $1.
We're 17 pesos. 17 pesos.
17.05 pesos.
The 0.05 is very important. Find another one. We're only going to take one. You're gonna constrain ourselves.
Stop looking for dollars. Made it. Here.
Cortez. This is something de California.
Yes.
Translates to Bay of California.
Bay of California.
We'll figure it out.
Bahia de California. Bahia de California. Maybe. Otherwise known as the Sea of Cortez. Your orange shirt looks wonderful against the blue of the water.
So colorful.
So colorful.
Trying to determine if the tide's coming in or going out.
We don't know yet. But it's a long way from camp, which is over there towards the sunshine.
We are 0.7 miles out.
Wow, 3/4 of a mile from camp to...
No, from the edge
Oh,
of the beach.
from the edge of the beach. Wow.
0.69.
Wow, that's a long way. The water goes out a long way here.
Of course, we're out in Spit.
Yeah. Nice. The tide can rise and fall up to 20 feet at this location. At low tide, long sandbars are revealed. Do you want to know what a hard life is? We had to sit next to the truck to block the breeze from the dunes, and we had to put on our sunglasses to drink our coffee. It's a rough life. Don't do this. What'd you find?
I found a pelican.
A pelican?
A pelican. Looks like a pelican.
He looks like a pelican, or an ex-pelican.
Been pushing up the daisy.
Related to the
Batten down the curtain and join the crowd invisible.
Oh,
This is an ex-parrot.
Nice. Good find. Oh yeah, he's got his little beak to grab things and shove them down his gullet.
Look how big his eye hole is. Look how small his brain hole is.
Small brain hole, big eye hole. Looks like a dinosaur.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
So that's just his upper jaw.
Yep.
It's funny, it's completely hollow in there.
Yep. Lightweight so we can fly.
Ah,
Good find.
good find.
Te fuiste por los lujos y te saldrá caro. Cambiaste mi caballo por carros de
Can't see too much.
See, too much sun.
It's windy today.
It's windy today. We had to get up and take our awnings down.
Yes. And we're heating the water for the coffee. And
In the trailer because we can't fire up the stove outside because it's too windy.
Teardrop life.
Teardrop life. Hashtag teardrop life. Hashtag full-time teardrop. Next time on Flight of the CrowsWing. Part 2. Fisherman's Cove, Coyotes, and DIY road repair. One now.
Saving critters.
Saving critters.
There's beetles. They're trapped in a party mug. Some of them look like they might have already.
In a red Solo cup.
Look up. And it's garbage. Here you go, little guys.
There you go.
I think they might be done.
There, that's perfect.
No more of them can get in there.
Nope. It's, well, I guess I can get out of that now. Okay.
I think we had a couple of them that didn't make it.
Probably.
But I saved a couple of them.
There were a couple that were still moving, so they made it. Your karma is good.
Good for now.
Good for now. Now we can go do evil stuff. To continue to follow our adventure, please subscribe and hit the notification bell.